Present.
Quincy Harrison, present.
Paul Brakeman, present.
Stuart Wooters, present.
Thanks for that. Slow down. Pete Alec, present.
Jeremy Warner, present.
Linda Novak, present.
Awesome. So we'll do an before we do an adoption of the agenda, actually, I have they're able to complete the budget for the last several months, and we can, if we feel so, someone would like to make that as part of the motion, we can add it to just a review. I don't think that there's anything material that we'd have to be worried about, but it's worth us going through it. So that's the only change in the agenda that I would recommend for tonight. Any?
Motion to add the budget to the agenda.
Second?
Okay, so motion to add the budget to the agenda, and it's been seconded. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so I'll pass this out.
Thank you.
There you are, and then I think is that enough? Is that three? All right. So just adoption of the minutes from last meeting. Thank you, Evan, for pulling that together.
Just one small change, is my last name was spelled incorrectly in the top there.
Oh, it is.
Werner. You had it, it's right
That's in the minutes?
in the minutes.
Oh, I thought you meant in the plan.
Oh, no,
Oh.
that, we're good.
Yeah, there are other places it's right. So that's,
Not that bad.
yeah. All right.
You're testing me, I like it.
Any other comments on the minutes? Everyone feel like it's a representation of?
So I do have one. Didn't bring my markup. I thought I did, but the statement at the beginning of the minutes. Maybe if I could look at them. I think normally what we do when we have like revisions to the minutes is that we just modify the minutes from the previous month. And I, at least that's my understanding, that we don't need to actually state that it was changed. Now, I do have the one on, thank you,
You're fine.
page, looks like it's on page 3. So, under discussion, new business, Halleck expressed concerns. If we could, I'd like to modify this sentence. He also mentioned possible negative social impacts if the building, and I would change it in this fashion, is not used in a manner that allows public access to our cultural heritage. Hope that's not too ornate, but that's kind of the point I was trying to get across.
Yeah, I mean, your point was that it's historically significant, so.
Right, in that by closing the building, not having it be retail, not having it be a gathering place of sorts in any fashion, that we will no longer be able to go inside the building. And I don't know if, Quincy, was that you who asked whether the potential coffee shop location would require an accessory building?
Yeah.
Does that capture the meaning of what you were asking about? I was looking at that and I was like, what
I
does
think
that
I was
mean?
just asking if this building would also serve to, provide more opportunities for other buildings that may not have the culinary capacity that would allow that. So it's close enough, I think it's fine.
Okay, it's hard to get the meaning of what that one is. All right, I think that was all I had.
Do you want to make a motion, Chief?
So I'd make a motion to revise the minutes as we just discussed. If we could do it that way.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, good. So we'll have our official reports. Council liaison, unfortunately, is not going to be able to be with us tonight. He had another conflict that came up on him. So as far as chairperson minutes or discussions, So, last council meeting, there was a good discussion with regards to the inquiries the council's making on the deer population and what possible options we have as a village to help alleviate the large deer, out of size, oversized deer population we have in the village. And what can we do to help maintain the herd in a way that's beneficial to them and to us as being part of the same ecosystem. So they're still investigating on that. That took up most of the meeting. They also had they also discussed a little bit about reviewing the noise and then the nuisance ordinance, but we don't have anything just yet from them. They're gonna go and mark it up and then give us a prioritized list of nuisance items. Once we get that, then they'll ask us to reorganize any of the nuisance items into a single section, so it's an easier lookup for members of the village, as well as the code ordinance officer, so that they can point to it in an easy location, since right now all of our nuisance ordinances are scattered throughout. I mean, generally they're in the section that they were written in, but it's harder to find for some people just to kind of go. It's easier for people, they could go right through it. And whether or not and then they'll prioritize what we need to bolster or what we need to either relax or what is just fine from an ordinance standpoint. They also discussed the site plan review that we recommended to them. That wasn't a first reading, I believe, for the site plan review, or is that just the discussion to approve it?
Yeah, this is good.
Oh, so they'll do a finalization of that, I believe, next month for the Franklin, the Oyster Bar. The site formerly.
Yeah, you don't need a second reading.
So then it was the formal.
Was that a formal approval then
It
last?
was the formal approval.
Okay.
Building permits have been issued.
Okay, so then the formal approval was made. Good. Glad you're here to clarify that for me. That was a long meeting.
It was really long.
So those of you who watch online, watch at 2x speed if you're gonna save yourself some time.
Learn a lot about deer.
You did learn about a lot about deer, yes. And also our neighbors' thoughts and opinions about it, which is good to know ahead of time. Okay, those are the main things I wanted to bring up. Also, there's an Michael Seltzer stepped down from council last Monday, and there's a spot open for nomination. The council's going to nominate someone in the next month or so, probably by next council meeting, to run or to take Michael's spot until the end of this election cycle. So until the next election happens, then that person will sub through. So
When's the next cycle? It'll be 28?
no, it's
11
26.
Is it 26?
Yeah, even though it's midterm for Mike, apparently the way the bylaws are written, if you have an election for someone, if you have an election during the time that someone's replaced another person on their term, that position is actually up for election.
Okay.
So, and that's why Dan Ferris didn't have to run, because there was no ballot this year.
Okay.
So he was able to continue that term until 26.
Okay.
So that
When is the deadline for the applicants? Do you know when we have the,
We just extended it, right?
December 4th now.
what is it?
December 4th.
Okay, so that would allow them to act in December, for their December meeting?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep. So, okay.
I was gonna say something
Sure.
about the last meeting. The other discussion was about these flock cameras. They did talk about it.
They did
right?
talk about flock cameras. Yes.
I'm not sure I'm confusing my meetings, but, and there has been a fair amount of, I was surprised that it wasn't mentioned, but there's been a fair amount, somehow it started coming up in my feed and I've been following it. There's been recent law, and significant issues with these cameras being mounted. So I just thought I would mention that if you do a little research, you'll see it. I mean, there was talk about the privacy issue, but it seems like skip over the thing about that, it's all about like access to the data. Like there's been
Yes.
communities where you can do a FOIA request and they will let you look at all their camera information. And I think there was a Supreme Court finding that said, yeah, technically, you should let them look at all the camera data. And so there were communities that say, all right, then we're not gonna have them. So, but I thought I would share that just as a point of interest.
Okay. Any other commissioners have anything else to share from during the official report?
I will. I don't have a spot for Main Street Franklin, so I will use this time now. Since our last meeting, I went to the Main Street Franklin meeting last month. I attended Frankenstein in partnership with them. I learned a lot. I got to see the wonderful things that were happening. Got to saw Linda there. It was wonderful. We had a great day throwing pumpkins down the hill with children running. It was fun. I will be at the next meeting on Friday at 10 in the church parlor, and there's also the upcoming Friendsgiving celebration the Sunday before Thanksgiving. There is a sign up, I believe, that went out in the village newsletter. It's from 4 to 7 the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and they're not only looking for people who want to attend, but they're also looking for kitchen help for that day as well. So if anyone is available or would like to attend, that is an opportunity to.
Which event is that?
That is the Friendsgiving at the church.
Yep.
We did talk about opportunities for, I know that they're looking at some grant opportunities right now and expanding sort of some of those opportunities and maybe what that means for sort of reframing the church hall as like a community center more. And looking at opportunities to sort of bring people back into the heart of downtown to sort of have some of those better business relationships and get Franklin villagers into downtown in easier accessible ways. So we're looking into those right now, but I appreciate the opportunity and they were incredibly welcoming and warm, and I have really enjoyed working with them so far, so yeah.
So I could ask a question or follow up a little, but Linda and I had an opportunity to go to a meeting with Mark Cooper and the church people. Gary Roberts attended, Rick David was able to make it. But it was a good discussion on that very topic of, can the, basically that assembly area be a sort of a hall, some kind of hall, so. And got a lot of potential. I think it could be a really neat
It was a good
possibility.
discussion.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good, thank you, guys. Any other commissioner updates? Okay. Zoning?
Yes, we did have a meeting last month, we have another one tomorrow evening. We had 2 cases on the agenda. One of them, nobody showed up, nobody did anything, so that was dismissed. That was the one on Hawthorne. And there was also a variance request for a property on Rosemont Court for a shed that was put onto a side yard. And it was placed in an area that was not allowed by zoning, and it was denied, so they will need to move it.
Oh, wow. How would it, how did they get that far with the shed and?
Well, you don't need a permit.
Right,
for a
because it's less
shed.
than, all right.
It is on a cement pad, and some neighbors complained about it. Yes,
I figured, interesting, I figured we'd have to get any sort of permit for cement pour.
no,
Really?
100
Well-
100 square feet.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Yeah, but
they
then,
should have checked.
but also they should check to see for impermeable surfaces, how much.
No, that was not
Not
an
even
issue
close,
with
okay.
that particular property. There was
Multiple
lots
acres.
of, yes, multiple acres, and the hardship was that they would have to grade and do a lot of work if it was moved to the correct part of the property, but the zoning board,
Those are hard
I see that.
decisions to make, so.
But I'm a little surprised too, but so much of that is discretionary it's a lot of carpentry, a lot of concrete pouring.
This
Well, I don't
was
think it's a
actually like one of those,
Pre-
Rubbermaid
pre-made
sheds.
deals?
Yeah, like-
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
But,
all right. Different story.
It was in the wrong place.
Yeah, got it.
And the one for tomorrow, what's that meeting on?
The one tomorrow is for a swimming pool that is also on a side yard that's existing, but they need to replace it.
Oh.
And so to replace something, they will need a variance.
Okay. So in that case, just questioning, in that case, if they receive a variance, then they wouldn't have to go back to zoning if they had to replace that pool later either? Or is it every time they have to fix the pool? I'm saying just in general for people to understand, if you get a variance,
You
runs
know,
with the
it
property,
depends.
yeah.
Yeah, but it also depends on, zoning changes. That's,
Okay.
from when that pool was put in, zoning changed, that's why they had to come back.
I got you.
It could very well change again, so,
Yeah, that makes sense.
who knows?
Okay. Makes sense. All right, okay. So, public comments, we don't have unfortunately anyone from the public, though they are welcome anytime. New business, okay, Chris, do you mind kind of giving us an overview? At least for those that don't have, that are, oh, I'm sorry, you know what, we never said when we were gonna add, the treasury, the finance. We usually do that before new business, is look at our budget. So do you mind if we interject now and just
No, that's fine.
do our budget first? I forgot to mention where to put it in our agenda. So normally it's before new,
public comment, but
before,
we're good.
yeah, before public comment, but it's all right. Okay, so what you're looking at is, several, like year-to-date essentially, since, for those, just a reminder, our fiscal year starts, in July. And, we haven't had an update basically since October, I believe. Not October, since July, actually, since the new fiscal year. So if you look on the last page, we have the latest for the last 3 months, of July, August, September, and we're waiting on, and we're usually a month behind, so we wouldn't have October normally anyway. But so far, we're doing okay. McKenna's running a little high for the beginning of the year, but we also have a few things from master plan that they were doing and that are coming up as well. Packets, yeah.
Packets.
If I'm not mistaken, I think some of that's reimbursed through the applicant.
Okay.
For what period?
Could be wrong, but
Which line item is this?
on the second page,
For year 25, 26.
So that's the summary, right?
Which applicant are you referring to for the,
well, the McKenna expense.
Yeah, I'm just
I
curious.
don't have my invoices, but there were expenses related to the Franklin Oyster Bar
okay.
review, for example.
So the first 3 months are on here. That's the first quarter of the year, and we've spent 25% of our McKenna budget by the first quarter of our fiscal year.
Lines
So,
up pretty good.
huh? It does line up.
Almost
I mean,
exact,
so.
quarter and quarter.
Yeah. And then public hearings, I'm a little surprised that we don't have any budget items for public hearings, because we've had several public hearings.
Yeah, might need to
Okay,
find out where those should be.
and, yeah, so that's all of the, newspaper, costs to get it published in is it Oakland
Open press.
Press, and, which I don't even get that, so I don't get those notifications. I don't know how many of our villagers do. But yeah, and then, what?
It's an old way of
It is.
putting it out there.
Yeah, there's no online way to do it. I know we talked about this not too long ago. I think there were more than one.
We do post the agendas online, but by state law,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
notifications have to be placed in the most widely circulated newspaper for the community, and that would, for us, be the Oakland Press.
It happens to be the Oakland Press, right?
I get the Eagle, but I don't get the press, well, Oakland Press, which
Yeah.
is surprising to me that that's considered the most widely spread, because I think most everyone
Yeah,
gets the Eagle.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, I can look into that.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it before, but I don't think it's a large enough distribution to count for the state, or there was some reason why the Eagle wouldn't work, but it
Does
makes,
the Eagle have a classified section? I don't recall that it does.
I think they do.
anyway, if you don't mind looking into it, that'd be grateful, because I think
Yeah, it'd be more effective.
it would be a lot more effective, and hopefully cheaper,
Necessary.
yes. So, yeah. Sorry, Oakland Press. Any other questions about the budget up to date? Thank you for pulling this together, and thank the treasurer for doing this for us.
What is the traditional membership fee in November? I guess I just don't know. The one that's from $725 last year. What does that just entail?
It's a it's a membership for planning that each of us get. We were getting.
Well, I get it more online than I think I do.
But for a while, we were getting the actual physical magazine in our
Yeah.
packets,
We do get it.
We still get the magazine.
and we still get yeah.
What is it, like a quarterly magazine, maybe?
Jeez, that's expensive for a magazine.
I mean, there's,
Well,
I'm
it's
just
also it's supposed to give you opportunities for training and things
Yeah,
of that nature.
yeah.
So,
yeah.
Maybe we could look for
Which I
ways
can
to
never make
utilize
because I work
that
9 to 5.
more fully then. As I have no idea what that was, but
Yeah.
I don't think I would have probably joined. Oh, no,
So some of them were
You-
really cool.
you-
I
I
would
wasn't-
love to-
I wasn't
would love
here.
to join.
you weren't here, but it is worth looking into when you have a chance to look at the information. You can sign up for conferences. I believe there's reimbursement as well available for doing some of the trainings as well. Just that's part of our budget. So
Well, thank you. I've been to those trainings, I just didn't know what they were.
all right. Any other questions about the budget, financial budget? All right. So now we can move to new business for the master plan review. Chris, thank you. Sorry to.
Okay. Well, just to recap, as everybody knows, we finished the draft of the master plan after quite a long period of diligent work on the part of the planning commission, and by state law, it had to go out for 63 days of review by various agencies and surrounding communities. And as was expected, we got one review back, and it was from Oakland County Planning, and that was from Scott Cree, who's a principal planner. And he gave quite a thorough review, and it went before the Oakland County Coordinating Zoning Committee. That's a committee composed of 3 county commissioners that's also established by state law. And I attended that meeting by Zoom, and Scott gave an overview of the plan and presented his recommendations, and we had a nice discussion, and he had 5 recommendations, which all seemed pretty reasonable, so I incorporated them into the revised plan that you have before you. And I'll go through those 5 recommendations. The first one was acknowledge that the village of Franklin is adjacent to Southfield Township in the northwestern corner of the village's boundaries. So all the maps in the plan, there's 11 of them, I think, have been revised to show that little triangle of Southfield Township in the northwestern corner of the village's boundaries. And then he suggested number 2, update map 3, the periphery properties map. And so we went out and looked at periphery properties. Those are the properties on the perimeter of the town, of the village. And also did some aerial photography work and figured out which ones have been built on, and so we updated that map. Then number 3, he suggested adding Michigan Natural Features inventory information to the master plan. The village has a designated priority 3 area along the Franklin branch of the Rouge River, which is also a FEMA floodplain. So we added about a half page of discussion about the Michigan Natural Features Inventory on page 34. And we also added a map on page 35 that shows that priority 3 area. Then number 4, he suggested incorporating information related to the Oakland County Cooperative Invasive Species Management Area, the SISMA. This one was a little bit iffy in my mind, but nevertheless, we thought that the most appropriate place to address this recommendation would be in Chapter 8, the Trees and Vegetation Management, where coordination with SISMA has been added as a recommendation, number 9, on page 105. Then the final recommendation was to expand the village's limited development opportunities by including brownfield redevelopment information. The Oakland County has a brownfield redevelopment consortium set up that the village or any community in Oakland County can work with. They don't have to set up their own brownfield authority, in other words, and they can get the benefits of the Brownfield Act, the State Brownfield Act, and which has certain tax incentives and things of that nature. So we added that as recommendation number 8 on page 88. And where this would come into play in the village of Franklin, there is at least one brownfield, I think, and that's related to the cleaners property.
Hasn't that been remediated?
Apparently, it's still on the list, according to Scott, as a property that's not fully remediated.
They've done containment. I don't know if they've done full remediation.
Yeah. I mean, I think full remediation is dig all the soil out. I mean, they have pipes in the back. They've got some kind of, vapor capture system, as I gather. That's what it looks like. It's quite an elaborate piping system next to the condominiums. And I would assume that that's like, I don't think it has a termination point where they say it's all fixed.
Yeah, I don't think it is. So, in fact, if you look on the county's website, they give examples, and one of the work that the Brownfield Authority or Consortium has done, and one of them is, I forget which community it's in, it is a cleaners that in this particular community that has been cleaned up, pardon the pun, and been fully remediated and redeveloped for a different use. So that's something that I think is worthwhile keeping in the back of our minds. So if you're comfortable with all these revisions, the next step in the process is to schedule a public hearing. I forgot that the December meeting is on the 10th. And in my letter, I said December 17th. I think we can still make the public hearing. There's 15 days notice that's required. I think we can still make it. And so if you're comfortable, a motion would be in order to schedule the public hearing for December 10th. And we can keep it moving forward.
Any discussions on the,
Only that I know I'm not going to be here for that next meeting. And are there other people that know that they will not be there? Just to make sure there's a quorum.
on the 10th?
I will be here.
I'll be here.
I'll be here.
I'll be here.
Two.
Fourth quorum.
Carry on, folks.
Sorry. We'll make sure your name's still on it.
You'll get Greg.
I think, good work, Chris. Jeremy, you have?
Yeah, no, my only questions, we have post office in there a few times. Do we want to, I don't know, do we still have a post office?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, you're staying?
yeah, post office right there.
Yeah. Post office?
Post office?
Oh, yeah.
I know it's a
Nice little part of the community.
Yeah, so we have, so this, it took us several years to make this, but it's every 5 years after making the last one, you have to make the next one. So when this was actually originally,
Got it, okay.
created, so if we lose our post office between now, well, I guess when the council adopts it,
Right.
and then, in the next 5 years, then we'll have to update with post office.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean, whether or not the people are in the post office when you try to show up, that's another story. Sometimes that.
Okay, now I do have a question. Did something happen to the post office?
What's that?
Well, you can-
Did something happen to the post
Were you
office?
concerned
Now,
that?
now I am.
No, I mean, there's been, I remember, I mean, Roger not long ago was like, no, as far as we know, no one's ever, because it's like, yeah, the clock is probably ticking on our post office, which we've had since, Ebenezer Raynail or whatever opened it in
That's the first one, yeah.
1835. Franklin has always had it, and, but yeah, clock is ticking in some sense, probably on that building.
Just a few things for, so, do we have a motion to, to accept the changes and have a public hearing next month?
I make a motion to accept the changes as provided from Chris and Scott Creed, and motion to have a public hearing next month on December 10th for our special meeting for December.
I second.
Any further discussion points on this? The only thing I would point out is those that go to the public hearing, look at the maps, they're really interesting. On map 7 that talks about environmental features, it has the 100-year floodplain, which you might not have realized when you were when you bought your home, but those are cool features to look at, and as well as the other the 5 homes that are
Yeah.
adjacent but are not part of the village. I guess they just fall under Southfield Township bylaws, and they're good to go do whatever they want to under Southfield Township. That's a great place to live because it's right on that little ravine, and
Yeah,
So the corner is not Franklin, it's Southfield Township?
yeah,
yeah.
kind of.
It's not like
follow-
that White House that sits up on the hill?
Yeah,
there?
there's like 3 or 4, I mean, we just did a
The subdivision
review.
cuts right through it.
They're adding a pool back there, so Southfield Township has a planning commission, just like Franklin. Yep.
And you're on it.
But it's about 4 houses, and the mall that used to be the Borders Books at Southfield and 13 Mile, a couple other unusual properties. And I think it has to do with because of the way the river runs, 14 Mile Road drops south of the actual 14 Mile line. And I think that had something to do with how those guys ended up in that goofy spot. But I was gonna mention too, because there's another great map here that shows, where these historic homes are
Go ahead.
in, outside of the village. Because we have a bunch of them where they're out in the, 13 Mile Road, the old farms that were there, corner of Scenic and Wellington. There's an incredible house from 1835, which you would never know. That's an interesting map. It's page 26, if you ever look at it. And Gary Robertson, the Historic District Commission, did a great job of getting some of these houses included in the Historic District. I think the one on Romani and Franklin was added. I think the Lamont House on Scenic was added. So, it's like, boy, it's wonderful to have these homes added, added into protective things. But I guess I was gonna mention, because the brownfield thing was on here, and this would be a future revision, but I think because I know that not everyone's aware, I think it would be worthy of putting into our master plan, some statements regarding that we're aware of it, and we're, what should be done. I mean, this is good, but it doesn't address what our actual relevant property is.
Especially those that are on well downtown that are close to the plume.
Right.
Yeah, gonna be
To have, make sure they're checking their well.
in the value of the property itself because of that, and how that could impact us years to come. I know there was talk one time where like, some point the state or the federal money will stop coming to keep that
Right.
in place,
Well, let's
and then
make-
it will fall on the building owner, you know?
Well, let's make sure in 5 years, planning commission is aware of that.
Yes, I'll make a note of it, I'll set a reminder.
Awesome. Okay, so, thank you. So we'll go ahead and get a public hearing scheduled. Chris, you'll be able to provide the,
Yes, I'll do that tomorrow.
awesome.
Did you have a vote
We
on
didn't
that?
have to vote on it, we just said.
We did, yeah.
Okay, so could, all in favor for, public hearing and accepting these changes, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Good. All right, thank you. All right, consider the, meeting dates for 2026, for the planning commissions on the very last page of our packet. So, again, we're gonna do the second Wednesday in December. I know we don't have control over this, but the music on the green always falls on planning commission night. Do they just pick the middle Wednesday? I was looking through the history, trying to find out like which Wednesdays they would
Yeah.
do music on the green.
Often.
It's often on ours.
I mean, we could move it to like 6 o'clock so that we could try to not overlap, you know?
Well, and sometimes it starts at 6 though, so.
Mm.
What I would propose is in March when they go to apply for a public use permit for the Village Green, that we consider it in our April meeting of changing the date so
Sure.
that we can also participate.
I like
Yeah.
that. I would say change it to like the Tuesday before, so we can,
Or whatever makes sense, or Wednesday, or,
Yeah.
Thursday, they have zoning, so we can do Thursday, or yeah, we can do a week before, or a week after,
but yeah, so I think in March we should put it on our calendar. Once they kick off the public use permit, then let us know in our meeting and,
So in the official outgoing, would you recommend for April, May, and June, we put next to those dates currently tentative? So that way when we have it go out, it just says.
July and
April-
August.
Or, whenever it's supposed to be.
Make a little note, asterisk.
Yeah, tentative to change in accordance with music on the green.
Is that okay? And then, for Ash Wednesday, I know that that's a significant holiday for, several of our villagers. It might make sense to move that February up a week, and do the second Wednesday of February instead of the third. Any concerns or questions about that?
I'm okay with that.
I just know that when people come home from work, if they want to try and take advantage of any services that go on Wednesday, after work or outside of work hours, then they would probably, we would be bumped right into that.
And what, I guess I think, what do we have? Planning is Monday, every first, or
Council
council, yeah, and then historic district is every first,
Monday.
Wednesday?
I thought historic was on Monday.
Well,
Wednesday on there.
thank
Oh,
you.
it is Wednesday.
We can see so well now.
Like, where
I should
is
just
all
look at
this
it.
information?
First Wednesday of the month, you're right.
Yeah, all right.
Monday.
Yeah. So we're flexible being the second or the third Wednesday of the month.
Yeah.
February 18th.
So move it to the 11th. All right.
Yeah.
Any other comments on the schedule for next year? Thanks for pulling us together.
We have to make a motion on that?
Yeah, we do.
Make a motion to adjust the schedule for planning commission for the year 2026 with the amended changes proposed at the moment.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The next meeting will be December 10th, at 7 PM. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion. All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second, Jeremy? Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.